Hey, Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about mixing. Now, I haven't even done it yet because I just woke up and I wanted to do this before I go to school. So basically, we're going to be talking about this. Someone asked me, can you mix like a boss from the stems that I have? So we have the stems here, and this is how you import them. I see people sometimes saying that they don't know how to import a whole bunch of audio files at once. It is literally this simple. You just drag it on, and bang, there they are. So it's really simple. Now, I listened to these as individual things from the Google Drive, but let's go ahead and give it a listen. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna start mixing it, and then whatever, what comes out is what comes out. So I'm not mixing to master. I am mixing to make it sound as clean as possible, right? So I'm gonna turn off my fruity limiter and gain increase, because yeah, you don't want that. And next thing I'm gonna do, I'm mixing on headphones, which is fine. I mix all the time on headphones. You generally want to do a couple monitor reference mixes later, but we're gonna ignore that for now. I'm just turning up my volume so that it's loud. I don't want to be fooled by things being super quiet. You don't want it super loud though, because then you'll get fooled and you'll think everything sounds great. You don't want that either. Okay, cool. So it sounds pretty awesome, and we can definitely, make it great. So what we're going to do is I'm going to reorganize the way this has been set up, because it's just in a weird order. So I'm going to put my kick first, because in FL, I'm mixing in FL, which is fine, but usually I'm mixing stuff I write in FL, and I'm mixing stuff like this in Pro Tools, but whatever. So we have put my snare. Where's the snare? Snare, 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 snare. And then hi-hat. Where we go next? Hi-hat. Hi-hat. And then we've got cymbals, cymbal loop, effects. Any more? We have toms, so we'll make some room for some toms. I want that next to my hat. Whoops. Clap. Oh, you know what? I want my clap next to my hat. So you never get stems that are this freaking clean when you're recording. Everything's so clean. It's like, oh man, this is already like my job's already half done. So this is that weird. Okay, I want my sub. I almost always put my sub last, but I'll leave it right there. We have a noise hat, so that's sort of percussive. Put it in the drums section. And then we have scream shot, sub, mid sub. We have 2 subs. It's interesting. And then we've got our synth and synth. Cool. So now I'm going to send all these things to so I'm going to double click, and then it selects them all. I'm going to come to my mixer and hit Control-Shift-L, and there they are. Boom. And I could go from, whoa, it's because it's listed over here like that. That's friggin' annoying. Kick drum. Where are you? Snare number 2. And then we want our hi-hat. Do. And then we want, okay. Drum snare, hi-hat, crash, noise, mid sub can go behind sub, scream shot, gabber, FX, synth, toms, and then clap. I'll put over here. And then these are going to be in a group, and we're going to name it drums group. And we're going to make this drums group orange. Cool. effects and stuff. This other stuff, I just leave it as the colors it is. It's just, I want to see my drums as a separate group. Cool. Now we have this. And the first thing we need to do is set some levels. So that's like the first step in any mix, is organizing yourself. And I could do a better job of the organization, but this is going to be sort of just a quick, rough mix. I have a limiter, but it is at 0. So theoretically, it's just protecting me. But we're going to be mixing just one at a time. So first, we're going to grab our kick. And so something that I'm going to put on here right now is, I'm just going to type it in. dB meter. That's what I want. I want to see it on my master channel, and I'm not going to need my browser, so have a little more room on my screen. Put it right there, and I'll even detach it so it's right in my face. Some aware levels. Some people are pretty sticklers about the -6 thing. I used to be a really hardcore stickler, but recently I've not been so sticklery about it. But generally, you want to be peaking there, and then you adjust your monitoring levels so it sounds good at that point. Okay, cool. And then we're going to bring in our snare. And that's just so we have room, okay? Because if you want to turn up the kick later and you have your kick is completely consumed your headroom, and you're screwed. Let's put an EQ on this. We're going to give it, it doesn't have a really good snap sound. It sounds like it's already been pretty processed too. And you see when we peak, it peaks quite. So we're setting everything relative to that. And now we're gonna put in a Maximus. Multi-band compression is the best. I'm gonna do this. No, that's a bad idea. This kick already has so much low. We can make the mids. And okay, so this kick's already friggin' processed. So probably just leave the kick as is. And now we are gonna mix it against the subs. So we'll go into sub 1 and sub 2. And we're gonna group these because we're gonna group these because I couldn't recognize them at a glance. Sub, and then we're gonna make the subs green. Cool. There's my subs. So something that's gonna fool you is it's gonna sound pretty darn soft, okay? That's just the way life is. It's just gonna sound soft. And I'm gonna send a sidechain to this, and I'm gonna just ensure that it stays clean. And I'm gonna do them individually because we're going for a quality mix down, right? So now see how the kick pops in the centers here? So this shouldn't be an issue anyway. So we could probably, oh, except for that. Ooh, look at that. It overlaps right there. So that's kind of good, a good deal. And now we have another one. Now this guy's a ramp in, but we could still. Okay. I'm pretty happy with sub level right now. Now let's bring in the snare. Or the snare's not a major feature here, huh? We have a noise hat. We need some upper end stuff, so we'll bring in the noise hat. Oh my, that's an interesting sound. Something that I'm gonna do is this has probably been layered with something else. Mid sub, crash. Let's bring in crash too. Okay, next we're gonna do effects. We're gonna grab our first synth actually. Bring that in. So see, it's pretty easy. You just bring the levels up. At this point, it's already so processed. And what we're gonna do is we are going to put a fruity wave shaper, stereo shaper on here. Stereo shaper. I'm just gonna slap a delay plugin on here, maybe stereoize 2. I'm gonna do something similar to the noise hat. Pick a different one. So I'm gonna go to fruity. What the heck? I just had it. That list is just changed. So I could go to the other thing. Effects. I'll put like stereoize just 1 on this one. So yeah, now of course we're probably gonna want these things sidechain, but not nearly as heavy. And I'm just doing that as if I have options later, but I'll put a limiter on it now. Yeah, you know what? I don't like the idea of the limiter. What we're gonna do dipping instead. So we're just gonna come over here where the kick sits and just make room for it. And that's all we're gonna do. Now, what next we're gonna do is we're gonna find the rest of the percussion. We have that synth, the hat, and the FX. We brought up the effects. No, we don't have the effects up. FX. This one we're going to do some automated panning. So we're going to just make a little bit of room. And we are going to grab the pan knob and we're going to automate it. And I have nothing against automating these pan knobs. Well, technically I should be grabbing another one. But we're mixing and so it's like whatever, I don't know. We'll do some subtle panning. And we're just using our stereo image. Cool. So that's, I'm just going to settle on a quick pan move. So that just creates a lot more space. And then this thing needs to be side chained hardcore by the kick. And so we're going to put a limiter. Let's do the toms next. Okay. And these tom kits look pretty consistent and they already look like they have the run-ins that I sort of want from the visual side of things. We'll see how they sound. Okay, so toms. Where did I put the toms? Did I name the toms drums? Because I didn't mean to. I meant to name them toms. Yeah, I did. Okay, so is that all that's happening right there? I think it is. So we got to make this sound freaking great. And one thing I like doing with stuff like this is I like to, maybe in the future I'll put space between my things, but whatever. I like to do the panning for this too. I just create a pan clip for the whole thing. What the heck? So Starts in the middle, goes up, down, back to middle. It sounds a lot bigger. And then we're going to add a reverb. That's pretty fine right there. Cool. So we've got that going. Just make it a little wider. And next, we have that the gabber. Let's turn the gabber up. The gabber already has an unusual stereo space. If you listen, like just listen to it. Sounds like it's over there already. I didn't even do anything to it. So we're going to leave it like that. Great. So let's look at... I'm mixing just a drop. This is normally I just skip to the drop anyways. But let's do 15 now. The other synth line. Cool. Now let's grab the clap. Bring this guy in. That's all I'm really gonna do there. Okay, you got me. That's not everything I'm gonna do. This is something I just keep coming back and making changes. But we're gonna do some subtle pan changes here. Panning, I'm telling you, is like your secret friggin' weapon, dude. Dude, man, bro. It allows you to subtly move it from the middle, giving room for the kick. Just so it's just room right there. It's easier for you to, even though it's slight, it does make a huge difference. So here, you could totally psych yourself out and just turn the volume up and be like, oh, that sounds great. And that's like kind of what we're going for. But we want it to sound great when it's quiet, really clean and crisp. So we have that. Let's go in and add in. We've got the crash. Let's add in these guys right here, these hi-hats and snares. That's cool. I like stuff like that. We'll do this snare line first. And we are going to, you guessed it, pan. This panning is your friend. So let's go create automation clip, zoom in here, go like this, subtle, just to create a little bit of movement. And we'll even go down. And then I don't want to throw a compressor on it because it's already like compressed. So I may just do a volume run right there. Let's run with that. And call that fine. I know I'm not pulling open EQs and stuff, but it's just already so, done. And then we have open hi-hat. Let's get that one in there. Or you know what? On the open hi-hat, I'm just going to add another fruity shaper thing. Do. It is, I know it's in here. Fruity, flangus, vinyl, stereo shaper. What time is it? 7:06. I gotta start wrapping up. So, mixing, sterilize 3. See how much, that's a lot, like, yeah. If you're looking for one of those, maybe you're watching this with another DAW, there is a great one by M Audio that's free. It's M stereo spread or something like that. And what it does is it takes an already stereo signal and does it. These are mono, so it's, yeah. Where's that cymbal loop? I don't want to be bringing up crap. I don't know where it's at. Okay, here it is. At this point, you should probably save the get down, mix down. Ho, ho, ho. Cool. And then the scream shot. Where is the scream shot? Which one of these name? Oh, it's right there. Oh, cool. So we have this. So I'm gonna call it good right here. But something else that I would do is probably do a couple volume automations on the scream shot, like wow, wow. So it's not exactly the same every time, and it can come up on the important parts where maybe there's a spot to emphasize syncopation and musicality. And what I would do, go through and look sort of for opportunities as a whole. But to wrap it up, what I want to do is toss on a couple of compressors and see what we can get as a final product real quick. So we're gonna just do Maximus. And one thing I'm going to do is linear phase filters. Probably don't need to worry too much about this sub getting out of hand. We're just going to get a couple more dB of volume. This isn't going to be like the greatest mastering job. It's going to be like a friggin' fast, just trying to turn up the level. And here we can turn the kit up. And then I'm going to throw on something with some cool saturation, like the GTX, which is in that list somewhere, but I'm going to just go to GT. Oh, is it not in my, I don't think I have it added it to my database. I've got to go through the list. Oh, that's a bummer. Solid breast, brush, limiter. I know this is under mastering, TDR Nova, but that they put, the TDR Nova had that in their thing. So that's them, man. That's not me. Although it is great for that too. Man, I do not like that noise hat, just being real. If that's, you know, that's great if they want that in there, but I don't like that. I would have picked a noise that was a little less distorted. That's distorted. That's not noise. Noise is like, no, it doesn't sound like that. Now, we may consider, upon listening to these, adding a verb send. So I'm going to use there's a particular verb I'd like to use on this. It's the RC. If I can find it, RC24 will work. So RC24, I'm using it as a send. We want classic ambience. We'll go room. And what's over there, what we're gonna do. This is gonna add a lot of space to our mix. This is something you'd probably have to automate too. And I'd spend more time picking this, but whatever. As you can see, it gets 100 times bigger with verb, but I could spend such a long time mixing. You have no idea. You could spend forever. There's an old saying, the mix is never done. It's true. So verb send. Well, hopefully you got some ideas. And then, of course, if you disagree with some level changes, so this isn't like set in stone or anything. Like, I might make that a lot louder. And setting up some sort of a pseudo mastering chain isn't necessarily a bad idea either. To do at the end of your mix, you make it sound like you want it to, then you take these things off, you make your mix sound like that, at which point you may consider bringing your mix up, and then if you're going to be the mastering engineer, and then you just master what sounds like an already mastered mix, but there's no mastering plugs on it. If that makes sense. Basically, you put all the plugs that you were gonna put to master it, and then you take them off, and then you mix your mix to sound like that, and then you put it back on. And of course, you can't run things like distortion. Oh, I just realized I didn't even take advantage of Maximus's overdrive abilities, but whatever. So this is our final product. Well, for now. Well, I'm not going to come back and do this more, but anyways, you asked for things that I would do. This is some of the stuff I would do. That's that. If you have any questions, let me know. If you disagreed with something, let me know. Subscribe, support me on Patreon, and have a blessed day. So just showing you sort of what I was going after. I was listening to this first bit a lot. Now mine's a bit bigger. I would need to thin it out more. I could probably get at it more with EQ.